This is Cal, my combat achievement log Snowflake Iron Man. Cal is able to allocate levels and combat skills after completing a combat achievement. And what is Cal's ultimate goal? To kill every single notable boss in old school RuneScape. Last episode we died and lost our hardcore status. It was a tough episode. However, we managed to acquire Weapon Poison ++ and complete many combat achievements at both Chaos Elemental and Barrows. It was a roller coaster episode that I'm happy to say ended on a high note. Here are the stats we're starting with this episode, and we're going to change these a lot. I have a few short-term goals that need to be taken care of this episode. Firstly, we really need levels for quests we need to do in the future. Lots of bosses are locked behind some very high-level requirements, and so far, if it hasn't been apparent, I've sort of been fighting bosses with my hands tied behind my back. It's been rough, and I've been a punching bag. But with some levels and quests, we can start to remedy this problem. Secondly, we need 55 magic to solve our money issues. High Alch is going to be a huge asset for us. The sooner, the better. Especially because if things start getting really bad, I can Alch myself. Thirdly, and finally for the short term, we need to get our farming and crafting set up. These two skills will scale us into the late game. Some of you know what I'm talking about, and for those who don't worry, it all makes sense with time. I'm planting the seeds for the future both literally and figuratively. What more can you ask for? But I am getting way ahead of myself. Let's focus on the right now. Before we can start running, we need to walk first. Kind of a poor choice of words because of where we're going. That's right, to everyone's favorite place, Sears Agility Course. Yeah, not having any teleports and not having any fairy rings is actually driving me insane. Agility won't make us money, but it'll help us get around quicker for our money-making endeavors. Plus, we need 70 agility for Ceradome and God Wars way down the line, so fuck it. I take it back. So that's 60 to 70 agility knocked out. We won't be training this skill again for a while, thank God. Bright side is that at level 70 agility, we go from 0 energy to 100 energy in 5 minutes and 15 seconds without graceful. It's amazing. Okay, let's go do something that's actually fun. So fun that I could stay there for like 2 days. We're talking about that amount of fun. How the fuck is this fun? The desert is my least favorite area of the game. You could say the prequels had a profound effect on me, but we're stuck here for now. We need 20,000 buckets of sand. This is gonna set up our crafting grind using molten glass, so I'm gonna need to get comfortable in this heat. 20,000 buckets is gonna get us roughly 85 crafting, and it's going to solve our money problems down the line. 5,000 buckets in. The reason we're rushing this early is because, believe it or not, we're starting Slayer quite soon, which means Dragon Stones for Glory Amulets. 10k buckets. And of course, 85 crafting means that we can Spicy Stew to make the Fury Amulet, which is more important than you might think. Our defense is going to stay low for a very long time due to level restrictions and prioritizing damage, meaning we need to pick up the best gear we can, which Fury has a great stat block. 20,000 buckets. It only took about 2 days, but it'll be well worth it. We also went from 30 to 60 mining for a very important quest, but that's for another time. So for now, we're going to leave the desert heat. I've been called to Falador for a pest control problem. Now, I'm not normally inclined to help others, but apparently Giant Mole has some combat achievements that we can pick up. I've even heard rumors as crazy as the mole running around above ground. That'd be crazy. But not as crazy as doing this boss at 32 combat, so whatever, it doesn't have to make sense. We're gonna aim for the 10 kill count combat achievement here, and whatever combat achievements we pick up along the way, we'll gladly take. We're here because we need to pick up some levels to boost our magic up as high as it can possibly go for some objectives down the road, and this seems like a good place to snag a few. Our strategy? Oh yeah, it's bone-in time. I have fallen in love with our Bone Dagger Poison ++. This combined with the flower method from last episode, we're kind of unstoppable. If you don't know what the flower method is, we used it extensively last episode, and the TLDR is, we abuse Bone Dagger's special attack accuracy in combination with the negative stat bonuses from flowers on an alternate account. Say that 10 times fast. Also, see last episode for my opinion on alt account usage. It's not as abusable as you'd think. This method is the same thing we used for Chaos Ellie, so I won't waste either of our times. It's just a little bit more annoying as there's more traffic down here. I do want to note that I've turned on this handy dandy little combat task notifier to let us know when we failed a task. Like for instance, we just failed Hard Hitter. And I'm excitedly coming up on our first KC that we're gonna get some tasks off of, and oh, that's weird. I thought we failed Hard Hitter. Didn't realize that Jagex opened up an Italian restaurant underneath Falador with endless spaghetti. Seriously, if anyone can explain this, please go ahead. I obviously know the answer, but I just want to test you guys. Seriously, explain it for dummies. How did we get this achievement? I know I shouldn't question it, and neither should you. We just picked up a triple combo for our combat achievements, avoiding the little arms, nobody took any damage during the mole kill, hard hitter, the mole died in 4 instances of damage, and finally, why are you running? The mole did not burrow more than twice. 12 whole levels for killing this guy once. We're rich. Just kidding, these levels are gonna get nuked later on by quests. Now our goal is just 10 KC. Nothing can stop us. Except this guy. He stopped us. Oh, and my main stopped us too, apparently. Yeah, I just hit with flowers. I guess my main is just a beast. So much that it happened for a second kill in a row. He's just ruining everything. Getting 10 kills here should have only taken about 5 hours. This turned into an 8-hour grind. Our poison luck was absolutely awful. We got crashed a few times, but I don't blame people. I'm hogging the world for a long time, but we eventually got through it. Giant mole novice done. We'll be going for 25 kills on this sucker soon, but just not now. I'm on a time crunch and we have a lot to do. There comes a time in everyone's life where they have to ask themselves the question, why am I playing a niche video game from 2001 and recording it? It's just how I'm feeling whenever I look at the farming skill. Dear God, why? So normally starting farming is a pain, but it's not too bad because you probably have at least halfway decent teleports. Yeah, we don't have those yet. I can't get to the Hesidius patch in a timely manner because of my low construction. I can't use fairy rings for the farming guild teleport. I can't cast teleport to Camelot yet, and any of the troll patches are just a no-go for a while. But we need this skill. For crops? Nope. How about life-saving potions? Later. What about giant seaweed? Oh fuck yeah. Giant seaweed is my jam. Yeah, all those buckets of sand need to be paired with seaweed for molten glass. This is a long grind, but it's worth it. We're going to be farming whatever patches we can while also doing quests that will enable us to get farming quest XP rewards along with unlocking our dream destination, Fossil Island. So let's get started. First thing on the list is Lost City. Weird, right? Yeah, well, I need law runes for questing. I'm done getting my 10k steps in for the day and I want to start teleporting. So why Lost City? Lost City unlocks the ability to craft cosmic runes, which we're going to pick up in Guardians of the Rift. Law runes have about a 1 in 12-ish chance to drop from Guardians of the Rift, so I figured while we're there for laws, we can pick up some cosmics too for our crafting grind. It's just about playing smart, right? That's Lost City completed. Now we grind some Guardians of the Rift, and I have turned into a teleporter machine. Look at all these law runes. Also, we got this dragon left half out of an intricate pouch. That was kind of cool. Next, we plant seeds for farming XP. Our laws have helped us zip around the map doing low-tier farm runs. We've managed to get 17 farming through this, which is a requirement for Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf. But we don't have all the requirements just yet. And since it was boring to do these requirements, I bet it'd be even more boring to watch them. So let's jump through them, literally. We complete fishing contests as a requirement to start the Giant Dwarf quest, only to realize halfway through this quest that we need a decent amount of smelted bars, but we have 1 smithing. So we do the Knight's Sword for 29 smithing and smelt a bunch of iron bars and then finish off the Giant Dwarf. Riveting. We finally have everything we need to complete the Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf quest. We just need to grow some barley, but I planted jute instead. Yeah, I guess I just smoked a little extra meth today. Bro, how the fuck did I fuck this up this badly? What the fuck? Okay, barley is grown. And then throughout this quest, we spend forever growing shit to complete it, but eventually it's done. Now we do Garden of Tranquility, and same sad story, but unfortunately my file got corrupted, so you don't get to watch me complete that quest. I'm sure you're mortified. This bumped us past 30 farming, more than enough to plant giant seaweed, but I want to switch things up a little. Let's go get some more juicy combat achievements. Now, I know that some of you are just speechless. How could I give up on working towards my dream destination, Fossil Island? Well, think of Crazy Archaeologist as sort of a test run of a certain boss that you might be familiar with on that island. I want to pick up the achievements at Crazy Archaeologist to see how feasible they are at Deranged Archaeologist, because there's a lot of similarities between the two. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're not just killing these Zambi monks because I'm a good guy, we're killing them because I'm a great guy. And I also need their clothes. I'll also be taking one of these fine wizarding hats as well. And voila, we just went from 10 mage attack bonus to 27. I crafted the magic amulet, it's gonna help us a lot. And with this, I'm feeling much more confident. Finally, some proper gear. Now we head to the West Wilderness Ruins to kill Crazy Archaeologist. You know, 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
And what is exactly wrong with it being a ghost town?
Oh, nothing, I guess. Hold on, how are you speaking to me? I don't have a ghost speak amulet.
I took a semester-long course at Ghost College called Speak with the Living.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm surprised they offer that.
Still paying off that student debt 230 years later.
Okay, this skit is hitting a little too close to home now.
You can afford a home?
Right, time for Crazy Archaeologist. Now, would I call this a difficult fight? No. Would I call it an annoying fight at lower levels? Yeah, a bit. My goal is to just outlast his hit points with my prayer points. And I need to also perfectly dodge his learn to read attack. Should be super easy if you're a pro gamer like me. Fuck. Alright, our prayer just hit 0. Not good. I could flick this, but he attacks every 3 ticks, which is annoying. Combined with having to move to dodge, there's just gotta be a better way to do this. And there is a better way to do this. This boss is safe spottable because, well, of course he is. He's old content. You just need to mark these tiles and be able to count to 4. Yes, I'm bragging. That's it really. Kick your feet up and watch the combat achievements roll in. I'm just saying it's nice for once for things not to be so damn complicated. This is just smooth sailing until... Come on, man. It's always something. Yeah, the Ankus can be a pain, but it's better than trying to flick and dodge his attacks. So when it comes to Ankus tagging us, I'll say the same thing my therapist said to me when I told her I couldn't stop thinking about Neve. We're going to just have to deal with it. Anyway, that's the Rather Not Learn combat achievement. We didn't get hit by any thrown books this fight because, well, it wasn't a fight, really. And that's how the rest of these kills went. We just safe spot the Crazy Archaeologist, and sometimes he gets out, but it's easy to get him back in. And we pick up our 10 KC, and eventually we pick up our 25 KC. We didn't run into any PKers, and unfortunately we didn't get the double rune crossbow drop, but we're not using range for a long time anyway. We also gained 7 magic levels here, but we want magic levels. And ultimately we gained more levels here than we spent. Overall, I'd say our adventures at Crazy Ark are a big win. Our chapter at Crazy Archaeologist has come to an end, and what's the decision on Deranged Archaeologist? It's definitely doable. The Crazy Archaeologist barely outlived my prayer points with his hit points when I was using Firebolt. Now, I got 49 magic at Crazy Archaeologist, and now I can use Water Blast using all those death runes we've been saving up. It's a pretty big DPS increase. And yes, if worst comes to worst, I'll prayer flick the Deranged Archaeologist. It's always been an option, just one I wanted to avoid. But that boss fight is for the future. We can't even get to him yet. We need to unlock Fossil Island first, which is why we're doing the Dig Site quest currently. This quest revolves around taking tests in order to finally be able to excavate and dig into an underground cavern that reveals one of RuneScape's greatest horrors, Mage Training Arena. Oh yeah, we find this Zerosian stone or whatever as well. Cool, quest complete. I also decided to take a small detour and do Shades of Morton for a little extra herb lore experience. It never hurt anyone. And I'd tell you what this quest is about, but I honestly have no idea. I came to this town, didn't save it, completed the quest, and left. Yeah, you can just refer to me as Hero. We also got 24 herb lore out of it, so dub, to be honest. Next, we're gonna do Tower of Life. It gives us 1,000 construction EXP, and we need this. Getting to Fossil Island is great, but if I don't have access to a bank there, it's a bust. And to build a bank on Fossil Island, we need 21 construction. I can easily train this, but anytime I can get XP from a quest as opposed to training it, I think it's better just to bite the bullet and do the quest. For Tower of Life, we just build shit for some mages to bring a confused sperm to post-nut clarity. Another quest complete. This bumped us up to 18 construction, and we're just gonna finish off this inventory of planks to get up to 22. More than we need for building the bank. In order to start Bon Voyage and get to Fossil Island, we need one last thing. 100 kudos. And we currently have 95. So, completing certain quests will bump up your kudos. In this case, Hazel Cult. It's just a super short, fast quest that we'll need down the line for some other bosses anyway, and it'll give us 5 kudos. We just have to adjust some sewer streams so that we can get to the hideout, and at the hideout we meet this Halloween decoration. Quest complete. After speaking with this chap, we should gain 5 kudos for completing Hazel Cult, and with 100 kudos we can start Bon Voyage, which, okay, fuck the script, it's a quest. We've been doing quests, man, okay? I'm tired of doing quests. This quest is over. It's completed. We made it to the damn island. Okay. Welcome to Fossil Island. In all seriousness, this island might as well be called Dream Island, because it has so much of what we need. It's going to supply our giant seaweed, birdhouses, herbivore, because it's hard for us to get herbs, and of course, some combat achievements. Okay, we have finally made it to Deranged Archaeologist. Well, not quite. First, we've made sure to unlock the mushroom transportation method on the island. It's just always useful to have. Next, we need to make our way to the Deranged Archaeologist, and I'll be honest, why the fuck is it so hard to get to such a lackluster boss? You need both an axe and a rake to either clear vines or chop logs to get through this swamp. You can also get stabbed and poisoned by the plants, and you have to deal with tar monsters that attack with a typeless attack, so it'll always hit. Like, why? But thankfully, after all that, we're at the Deranged Archaeologist. We're going to be grabbing all of his combat achievements. Also, weird side note, he has no idle animations, he just stands there menacingly. It's also worth noting that there's no way to safe spot this boss. Lynching him or cheesing him with the log will trigger attacks that hit you regardless or increase his defense infinitely. Now you can counter this by using poison, but it's very slow and there's no reason for us to venture into these methods because we have the stats to take this guy normally. It's a bit close, our prayer is pretty low. Our RNG for the fight was about average, so I can expect to have to flick a few of these kills. We also got Mage of the Swamp for using magic to kill him, so we can add that to our levels. Speaking of which, we're really starting to get a hefty stockpile here, but no spoilers on what's going to decimate them. I'm just happy in this moment that we can kill this guy. If we can do it once, we can do it again. And again. And again. And holy shit! A brutal reminder that we're low level and complacency is the enemy. And yeah, I ran back between every run to get prayer, so this took a couple hours, but of course I got all the achievements. I'd rather be illiterate, not getting hit by a single book, the 10 kill count novice achievement, and finally, the 25 kill count champion achievement. And honestly, after all that, I really am feeling like a bit of a champ. I'm just happy that this boss is done and dusted. Now, during our Deranged Archaeologist escapades, we gained 4 magic levels, pushing us from level 49 to 53. However, our levels available don't look quite right. We have 42 combat achievements. With our rules, we gained 4 levels per combat achievement for a total of 168 available levels, which of those we've used 114, which should leave us with 54, not 51. Math was never my strong suit, and if you can go back into the episode and see where I fucked up, brownie points to you. But I have a really cool solution that I am so happy to announce for this. Now hold on, I know that I'm throwing a block of text at you with this, but let me summarize. A commenter by the name of Cool Scatter came to me with the idea to make a plugin to track progress, which I'm happy to announce that you can now download on the plugin hub right now under the name Combat Locked. This was completely their idea and all their work, so a massive thank you to Cool Scatter. The plugin comes with features able to customize the Combat Locked account settings. Firstly, it displays your current levels available for you, so you don't have to do any math. Secondly, you can set how many levels you'd like to gain per combat achievement. I play with 4, however maybe you'd like to play with 5 or 6 or 7. Or if you're a theory crafting god, maybe you can even crack the code on how to play with 3. This plugin also comes with built-in warnings on your skills tab to let you know when you're coming close to leveling. So fucking cool. If you'd like to play a Cal account, join the calga.cc. The plugin has already had quite a few users download it and give it a go, so if you'd like to try this game mode and theorycraft with others, or if you just like to chat and find a place to chill, please feel welcome. One last thing about this game mode is that it's fun on any account type. Non-iron, iron, ultimate, or even succeed where I failed and play on a hardcore. My goal is to kill every boss at least one time, but maybe you have a different goal in mind. Again, massive thanks to Cool Scatter. I always hate this part of the episode. I hope you do too. It's ending and there's not shit we can do about it. We've stockpiled a lot of levels this episode, and next episode we're gonna grab a few more. I'm really excited in the near future to share the giant tasks ahead of us.